Have you ever wondered why Snow White is considered a great film? Have you ever wondered why Disney was so pioneering? Why it's so big today? We're going to take a look at one reason why that might be. This is Snow White. It's the first feature-length animated film by Disney. Here we have Snow White, and here's the huntsman over here. The huntsman has been asked by the evil queen to murder our gal Snow White. Here's a horse too. All right, so we start out with this scene. We've got this nice establishing shot. They're out in this meadow. There's a stream. There's flowers. There's trees. There's clouds in the background. Very pretty. We also see a great use of depth of image. Here we've got Snow White in the foreground. Well, not really the foreground. The middle of the ground, if you will, and the huntsman, of course, in the background there. All right, let's take a look at this. Skip ahead a little bit. She's picking flowers. She hears a bird, okay? As she's picking these flowers, she hears the bird, and she goes over to see it. She's worried about this bird, all right? She's caring. She's an innocent little girl. Young woman. She is concerned for this bird's welfare. We see her as just an innocent person about to be attacked, about to be murdered. And then we see what's about to unfold here. So she's concerned for this bird's welfare, just like we should be concerned. Just like we should be concerned for her welfare. Now, pay attention to the huntsman's face. As he looks around, the expressions on his face are going to change. His emotions are being shown on his face. This is an example of the animators acting. They are these characters. They're acting as these characters by the way they draw their face. They're showing his fear if someone's around him. All of these things as he's about to draw his knife and advance on Snow White. All right, he's made his decision. Drew his knife. There's no going back now. It's over with. We see Snow White and her shadow is being cast onto this rock. I want you to pay attention to the shadows here. She helps the little bird. She saves the little bird. But will Snow White be saved? That's what we're about to find out. We have the huntsman here, and he's advancing towards Snow White, and he's advancing towards us, the audience. He's about to dominate this screen. Watch this. His eyes get big. You see how big they get? Look how big he is in that screen. He's huge. He's taking over everything. He's engulfing everything. He's dominating this scene. Here we see Snow White. Is he going to dominate her too? We're about to find out. Look at these shadows. Here comes his shadow. Okay, pay attention to his shadow here. As it is about to engulf Snow White. It grows larger and larger. Watch over here. You can see the knife. Great animation. She turns to face her attacker. And look where his shadow is. It's right at her eyes. It's about to engulf her. There's not much left of her body. Her shadow is almost completely engulfed by him. His murderous intent is on full display. And then what happens? She gets up. She looks at him. Look how much taller it's indicated that he is than her. She's looking way up at him. She's in mortal danger. She screams. He's still advancing. His shadow about to engulf her. We cut back to him. He raises the knife. She raises her arms, mirroring how he's raising the knife. She's going up in a defensive posture. Once again, his shadow about to engulf her. He raises the knife. Look how close it's getting. Oh, man, it is about to engulf every bit of her. There's no light left. Look at this screen. So dark. Man, it's scary. But then we come back to his knife. About to come down, right? about to kill her. It's coming down all right, but it's wavering and it drops. His shadow never engulfs her. Watch this. Before, he was dominating her. He was taller than her. She had to look up at him. His shadow was about to engulf her. Everything. He's much taller. She was crouched down, vulnerable. Now here he is, willingly being vulnerable to her, asking for her forgiveness, in complete submission to her. If she didn't want to forgive him, he would accept that, right? Because he knows he's done wrong. This is the absolute brilliance of this movie. Not every scene in here contains this kind of symbology. Maybe it does. Maybe you can find it. But there's a lot of it in there. And what's amazing about this is that these animators, the people who worked on this film, Disney, the 9 old men, Frank Thomas, Ollie Johnston, Ward Kimball, the people who worked on this film, they understood not only animation, but also the language of live action cinema, right? Because live action cinema had developed a language of how to express things. And these guys knew it. And they show it in this scene as they storyboarded this, as they constructed this scene, every bit of it, telling the story with the shots. That's what's important about filmmaking. That's what's good about filmmaking, is when every shot not only looks good, but it conveys the themes of the story, what's going on in the story. It tells the story just through the shots, right? We wouldn't need any dialogue here to know what's happening. That's really, really good filmmaking. And the brilliance of Snow White and the other early Disney films is they took this knowledge of live action filmmaking and they incorporated that into their animation. Then they had the magic of animation, the fantasy elements that they could put in there, this basically endless budget of things they could draw, right? In terms of how creative they could be. They made these believable characters. They made these characters that we love and that endure throughout history. They melded that with these techniques, and this is the result, is a masterpiece. Okay, this is a masterpiece of animation. It's not my favorite Disney film, but the more I think about how amazing it is that this is the first time that this is right off the, the gun goes off. They're right off to the front of the pack in terms of the race to the best animated film ever. Right, the first one they do is amazing. It's a masterpiece. It shows how much they had learned from all of their years of doing animated shorts and how they had paid attention to live action filmmaking. That's why Disney is important. The history of Disney is based on really, really smart men who were really great artists. And I hope that you will look at Disney films in a different way, that you will start analyzing these films and thinking how and why the artists made decisions about how they were going to tell these stories. All right, adios. You guys have a good one now.
Explosion!